Toto Wolff claims Mercedes has a fundamental problem with the design of their 2024 Formula One car that they don't understand at this time. George Russell and Lewis Hamilton finished 6th and 9th in the second round of the season in Saudi Arabia, respectively, marking another lackluster performance from Mercedes. Seven-time world champion Hamilton stated following the race that despite the W15's major wintertime modifications, Mercedes still has to make big changes. Welcome to F1 Opinion. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. A disgruntled Hamilton bemoaned his car's lack of performance through the high-speed turns of Jeddah, saying it felt like I was in a different category compared to Mercedes' competitors. Wolff admitted, "There is something that we don't understand. Everywhere else we move quickly. We are aware that our rear wing is smaller, and we are making up for it by cutting shortcuts. But we're only losing all of the lap time when we're moving quickly. That seems like a major issue. You can only adjust this to a certain extent. The setup range that we ultimately decide on, where the right rear wing is installed, is based on the direction that our simulations suggest. There isn't a huge performance gap, but you might gain a few tenths or not depending on how well you set up. The main issue is that we think the speed ought to be there. Although we measure it, lap time does not contain downforce." Wolff, nevertheless, is still optimistic that Mercedes can quickly resolve their current issue. "We have to recognize something for the past 2 years, and that is the key to unlocking it. All we have to do is get to work," he said. "It's not for lack of effort. We've worked really hard, and in the coming week, we're going to give it a really big go with more information to comprehend. We intend to return to Melbourne with great force. This one is a quest for us, and I have no doubts at all that we will close the performance difference." As Formula One weekends progress, George Russell claims Mercedes is getting slower in response to yet another subpar showing at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Russell started the weekend strongly, finishing 4th and 2nd in Thursday's practice sessions. However, as the weekend went on, Mercedes' competitiveness waned. The 26-year-old British driver only finished 6th in the race on Saturday, as Mercedes was surpassed by customer teams McLaren and Aston Martin. Teammate Lewis Hamilton qualified 9th. Russell thinks Mercedes are getting slower over the sessions, rather than competing teams growing better, following a similar performance in the first 2 rounds. Russell stated, "We're still really trying to understand this car because over the last 2 weekends, we've shown true performance at times. FP1, we were first on the timesheets and consistently in the top 3 right out of the gate. FP2, P2. Then, the pace just slipped away from us on both of the weekends. It's not our rivals who are getting faster, it's us who are getting slower. Therefore, we must comprehend why that is. It's fine margins now, though. It's so close between Aston, McLaren, and ourselves. Charles Leclerc Ferrari is only marginally in front. All we have to do is reach out a little further." An overall lack of performance in high-speed corners and the return of past bouncing difficulties irritated Hamilton, who called on Mercedes to make big changes to their W15 Challenger. "The car is relatively good in the low speed and not so bad in the medium speed, but in the high speed, we are miles off," Hamilton stated. "I felt as though I was in a different league while I was racing against the other males in my vicinity. Sitting in virtually the same position for 3 years in a row is undoubtedly frustrating. Although it's difficult, we're going to put our heads down and keep working. I'm sure that everyone at the plant is doing everything they can to make progress." Russell believes Mercedes' present lack of competitiveness has a deeper cause. "I believe that there is more to it. These days, it's really complicated." He remarked, "These cars are so intricate. When you combine that with the tires are also really challenging. I don't have the answers at this time." According to Mercedes F1 engineer Andrew Shovlin, the team is worried about the amount of time they are losing at Saudi Arabia's fast turns, and he acknowledges that this might also be an issue in Australia. Shovlin, their trackside engineering director, spoke after the race and shared his thoughts on Mercedes' position. "This weekend, we didn't perform well," he remarked. "We've struggled with our high-speed handling, and the car is bouncing in certain turns. That not only made us qualify poorly, but also prevented us from competing with Aston Martin and the McLarens in the race. We had to spend the entire lap trying to make up for the time we were losing in Sector 1. High-speed courses in Australia and Japan will host the next 2 races. If Mercedes can't address these issues, they may be in for a challenging few weekends. It has been a very frustrating weekend overall, but in the end, it was our own fault," he continued. While there have been moments of impressive performance, it has not always been easy to get the setup just perfect, and there are still some obvious flaws that need to be fixed. In order to get better between now and Melbourne, we will need to put in a lot of practice. The tracks are similar, and we hope this weekend doesn't come around again. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for new upcoming videos of Formula One. Thanks for watching!